Hey guys, thank you for joining me today on Godspot. It's Easter, Good Friday. I want to talk to you about putting Jesus in context. Now, it may sound a little bit preachy, but bear with me. Luke 24:15-16. So it was when they conversed and reasoned that Jesus himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were restrained, so they did not know him. So in our story, Jesus is the hope of Israel. That's the background. He's the savior of the world, and there are many people who have experienced healing and deliverance, but he's now dead. And what has happened as a result of this is people are just shocked that such a thing could happen, that he'd be killed as a common criminal. And here are two disciples on the road to Emmaus, and they're reliving the whole thing. So the first thing we notice about these two men is they have experienced shattered hope. The problem with shattered hope is what you do is you bury yourself in a ditch, and you get so dark and deep in that ditch you can never see your way over the top of it. And you stay there absolutely hopeless. And your mood stays there as well. And you become consumed with the emotion of the moment. And these men are no different to us. They're talking, reliving what happened, and they're no longer filled with expectation. The second thing we notice is the unexpected. While they're talking this over, a man joins their conversation and he asks them what they're talking about. And they find this to be incredible. They're thinking, where have you been living the last few days? Under a rock? In a cave somewhere? Haven't you all heard about Jesus being crucified and the deaths that took place? Haven't you all heard about this? So they're patiently begin to talk him through it, not knowing who they're talking to. And thirdly, it says that their eyes were restrained. They don't see him for who he is. Because in their eyes, Jesus is dead. In their mind, Jesus is dead and buried. And so to see this man walking beside them, he's totally out of context. And they're not going to see him. A number of years ago, I was sitting in a waiting area, waiting to see a doctor, a specialist, about some situations I had, health needs. And one of the men who was in my church that I worked closely with worked there as well. And I didn't say anything to him. I didn't tell him I had an appointment. I just turned up for the appointment. But lo and behold, he walks out from the office area. He sits in a reception area and starts working on the computer on the desk. He looks past at all the people in the room and he doesn't see me. Incredible. He doesn't see me. I work very closely with this guy. And so several times he does this, and finally, I didn't say anything because I wanted to see what happened. Finally, he gets up and leaves the room and never comes back. So later that night, I see him and I said, Perry, what happened? I was sitting right there looking right at you and you didn't see me. And what it was, I was out of context. He didn't expect to see me there. Normally he sees me in the context of church. And we do this a lot with Jesus. Most of us have the same problem. It's as if Jesus is still dead and we just don't expect him to show up. We don't expect him to show up in our family. We don't expect him to show up in our job. We don't expect him to be there in the workplace. We don't expect him to be there in the health. We don't expect him to be there in our money. But I want to encourage you, that's not true. Jesus is here right now, waiting to be invited into your life. And too often, we don't see him because we're not looking for him. We're not looking for him. And those who expect nothing shall never be disappointed. And I want to challenge your expectation that this Easter, that you would say, God, open my eyes that I might see you in my life, in my situation. And I assure you that the scales will be removed, your eyes will no longer be restrained, and Jesus can be part of your life. Thank you for listening. Hit the like button. Have a great Easter. God bless you.